So whenever I went back into the data, I noticed that the students were having difficulties knowing the cause and effect between those, within those relationships between those organisms.
Alright, so what particular, relationship did the data say that they have an issue with?
The competitive, the symbolic, and the predatorial relationships.
Alright, so they had issue with the whole three, or was it particular?
The whole three.
Okay, so for a purpose of just kind of addressing your teacher looking at particular, cause all three, you don't kinda wanna cumbersome them, so what particular one did you want to look at to ensure that you're addressing that misconception?
We're gonna go with the predatorial.
Okay. Alright, and with this particular, misconception of the predatorial, what would be your, particular focus of this misconception? What do you want your student outcome to be?
So I would want them to be able to, I guess, like create explanations about how the predatory relationship does affect the rest of the relationships between the organisms.
Okay, so looking at your data, and you're saying that one of the pieces is the predatory, and creating explanations, would that move them towards dispelling their misconception, the creating explanations?
Yes.
Okay, let's work on that. Alright, so let's look at it this way. Go to your 10 rating.
Okay. The questions?
Yes, ma'am. And if you go scroll down towards the bottom, it should give you standard that goes to each question. So find those, future questions, so find those questions that goes with LS 2.2.
Okay. And you said towards the bottom.
Yeah. All the way at the bottom, almost to the end.
Okay.
See?
Mhm.
So let's find those, should be two, like I said, 2 or 3. So let's find those questions that correspond to LS 2.2.
Okay, so question number 42.
Okay, let's look at 42. Alright, so what I'd like to do is take a few moments, kind of read through that question. And as you read that question, kind of think about, the student's perspective, how they read that particular, how they would read that particular question. And then that will probably help you to kind of see, okay, where probably the misconception was that they probably had that you saw today.
Okay.
Alright, so what did you see?
So the first thing that I was worried about is the vocabulary. So them being able to, I guess, annotate that vocabulary. It also asks us which of these will most likely be the result. So just knowing what like most likely means. And it asks us what's the most likely result of the population to continue to decrease. So just knowing why is that population, what will make that population continue to decrease?
Okay. So thinking in
Mhm.
thinking in a lens of that. I know you said vocabulary, what would that look like, what does that mean when you say vocabulary?
So just knowing what, I guess decline means, population means, habitat.
Okay.
So just paying attention to those keywords like decreasing, habitat, decline in population.
Okay. So with that in mind, what would you say was probably the disconnect as far as understanding that relationship that you probably see as far as the misconception for your students?
So knowing that the most likely result or the cause of that, decline.
So now that you kinda have an idea of what you're looking for, so you, as you read the TCAP question, I heard you say that they probably had an issue with some of the vocabulary.
Mhm.
And possibly with the annotation, decline, population, habitat, what those particular terms actually mean, as well as deciphering what exactly most likely
Mhm.
will mean as it relates to selecting the
The correct
potential answer
Mhm.
choice. So with that in mind, as I heard you speak to those, pieces, now how would you take that and go into your lessons plan to address that misconception? So what's your thought process? How would you, what would you think?
So I would just go to STEM scopes.
Okay.
Okay. And so let me get deep in the scope. Okay, so I will just like search, for which one I think would help them with those misconceptions.
Okay.
Also one that has a lot of vocabulary, so we can begin to decipher their vocabulary, and learn to annotate that vocabulary. So the one that I chose was the linking literacy, and it talks about the predatory relationships in an ecosystem. Okay.
Alright, so kind of, because I know you said you kind of looked at it a little bit before, so kind of talk me through the task and is aligned with what you, expressed as far as dispelling misconception.
Okay. So the task wants us to read each interaction scenario. So they gave us a scenario, and they then want us to infer what will occur with the population in an ecosystem, and then they want us to explain what needs to happen in order for us to restore the balance back to the ecosystem. So I thought that this would be good because they can go in and they'll be able to, what we call them in sixth grade, they'll be able to unravel those vocabulary words. So this is like annotating the vocabulary words. Then they'll be able to find out what's causing the population to decline, and also explaining what we need to do in order to restore that balance back to the ecosystem.
Alright, so as much as what I'm hearing, so looking at your TCAP question, you're noticing the gap for the students is usually probably the vocabulary as it relates to what officially defined population habitat means, and the inference with most likely in order to address the result of a decrease in population. So to address that misconception, you went to your STEM scopes for a student task within legal literacy. And a particular task is looking at a predatory relationship, which will address hopefully that vocabulary, and looking at a cause in the decline of population. Alright, now this is what I would like for you to do so we can kind of see how this all is going to play out. So I am asking you, if you don't mind, being a student, and we're going to do what is called a deliberate practice. And what we're doing in this process is to ensure that we are dispelling the misconception. We're gonna look at teaching room student group. So as you are going through deliberate practice, I'm looking at what you're doing as a teacher and how it's gonna relate to what, the students do, so that would be me.
Okay.
So it kinda helps to ensure that you're making that connection to the family.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Mhm.
Alright, so only thing is I don't need to send it to the teachers, I'm gonna see.
Okay. Okay, are you a student right now? Okay, so this will be the ID, so I'll just be up, modeling what mastery looks like to the students. Okay, so the first thing that we'll do, we'll just read scenario number 1. So it says that the gray wolf at one point almost caused the extinction of certain species of rabbits in the Northwest. The initial abundance of rabbits allowed the great wolves to hunt easily and eat many rabbits. Eventually, the rabbit population began to decrease, resulting in a change in the wolf population. The first thing we
Pause right there.
okay.
Alright, so for the teacher move right now, the only thing you're doing is reading.
Mhm.
Is there anything particular that you want the students to do or watch you do? So eventually, you'll know that that's what we're gonna do as a student.
Just listen and I just follow along.
Alright, so remember, we're trying to address the vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
piece.
So they can underline words that they're unfamiliar with.
Alright, so now, hold on. So with that underlying words that they're unfamiliar with, are they gonna do that prior to you doing I do, or are they doing that together?
Okay, so they'll read it first, and then they'll underline words that they're unfamiliar with.
So they'll do that first?
Mhm.
Okay, so you have to make sure that notes that
Okay.
that's what you're going to do first, that's what you like them to do
Mhm.
first. Alright, so from there, where is it they're not familiar with? What are you gonna do with that piece right there?
So the words that they're unfamiliar with,
Mhm.
then we'll just talk about those words.
Alright, so with that discussion, cause the reason I'm asking is, say for instance, if you're gonna have a room with good 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and say, okay, first part I would like to do is go in and read this first scenario. Annotate any words you're not familiar with. You can have 20 sets of different words. So that's what I'm trying to see, what is gonna be your bridge to practice with that to the idea.
Maybe I can go in and I can already have the words that I think that I have difficulty with, I already have them underlined. So they'll read it first, and then I'll read it, and then we'll go into details go into the annotation of those 3 words.
Alright. Which looks like it's those terms that they said they had
Mm-hmm.
issues with, so
Mhm.
that probably be, so you could have them annotate those words first they're not familiar with, and usually, hope you wish for that, that it's probably aligned to those words. If not, your I do could be you being intentional to show them to highlight, to
Okay.
annotate those words.
Okay.
Cause that's the purpose is addressing those misconceptions.
Okay, so me modeling how to distinguish those words.
Alright, so do that, so do that one. So on the I do, just annotate those words, how would you do that for students?
In the I will highlight them first, and then I will annotate them.
Okay,
So then once they get to the you do, they'll know how to highlight and annotate.
okay, so now, just with that part right there, in the I do, go ahead and back into your modeling mode, and I'm your student, how would that look? How would that
Okay.
annotation, yeah.
So I've already read it to them, right?
Mhm.
So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we're gonna go into the vocabulary that we've never seen before, or that we are having like difficulties with. So then we So the first word will be extinction. So I'll go in and I will highlight that one. Okay, so we will just talk about extinction. Extinction is the dying out or the disappearance of species.
Alright, we'll switch real quick. So I'm a teacher.
Okay.
Alright, so class, we're gonna go through this, particular first scenario. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for certain terms that is gonna be pertinent or important to us understanding the relationship between a predator and a prey. So as I read this statement, you are going to follow along, you're gonna annotate the same words that you see me annotate. And then we're going to then discuss how they are pertinent to the predator-prey relationship.
Okay.
Make sure we're gonna get that as a clue. Okay? Are you ready to practice that?
Somebody teaching me? Okay. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna look for our terms.
Back to the beginning, so you see how it all comes together.
Okay. So already, right? Okay, class. We're gonna go in and we're gonna look for certain terms that we feel like are important for the predatorial and prey relationship. So then we're gonna go to extinction. We're gonna highlight extinction. Yeah, so I will highlight this. Our next word will be abundance. And our next word will be population. Okay, so then we're gonna go and we're gonna annotate these words. Extinction would be the dying out or disappearance of the species. And you can just write that on the top of the word, so or above the word. So it is the dying out or disappearance of species.
Just pause real quick. Will this be
It will
on
be-
your smart board
yeah.
as you write it? Alright, so pause right here. So your move is walking up to the annotation. Their move, student move, will actually be you walking up to make sure that they are following along
Okay.
with you. And ensuring that you just kind of glance across the room, making sure that they are right.
Okay.
So that's part of the move, so that's part of the student.
Okay.
Now, here's another part of the student. They're quiet, they're listening, what do you think? It's gonna be another part of the direction along with following.
Yeah, so they will be quiet. So this will be something that we'll be doing through the beginning. And then I'll have it like in a PowerPoint, so like it'll highlight it and then it'll give them the vocabulary words once we get to that point. Okay, so then we're gonna talk about abundance, and abundance will be a large amount. So you can now write that on the top of the word abundance. The last word will be population, and you can write that below, and it is a group of animals living in a certain area. So this will all be coming around and doing my monitoring and seeing who has the annotated. Right, that's my teacher.
Alright, so now that you see everybody has this, what's next? If you still say that in the scenario once, you still know how to do it, come next.
Okay, so then we'll move down to the anchor, what will occur.
Alright, now. Before you can really get, you want to ensure that how does it compare to the scenario I just read?
So how this vocabulary is important to the predatory and prey relationship? Okay, so then I'll ask that, how is this vocabulary important to the predatorial/prey relationship?
So remember, it's still objects, so right now.
I'll tell you.
So the purpose of the I do is not only to walk them through your thinking out, your thought process to completing this task, but it's also to log the expectation when they usually get to the review.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you go through reading the, scenario, yes, the vocabulary is part of with the spelling and misconception, but you also want to ensure, like you said, it's important for the predatory-prey relationship. So what is the predatory? How do these terms relate to the importance of the predatory-prey relationship?
Okay.
Because before you get that's where this is gonna make a little more sense.
Okay.
Then you can start seeing,
Okay. So before I do that, I should probably see if they know what predatory and prey means.
Well,
But since it's still within the I do I tell them, so they like touch bases with predatory and prey?
You're telling them through your thinking.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the word, extinction, we're gonna talk about the word abundance, and we're gonna talk about the word population. And I'm just gonna tell you about the importance that extinction, abundance, and population is to the predatorial and prey relationship. So the prey will be those animals that get preyed upon, those animals that are becoming extinct, those animals that are causing a decrease, or they're decreasing the population, or causing the population to decrease. And then the prey will be animals that are, there will be a large amount of predatorial relationships. So that's what I'll do for the idea.
Okay, tell me about predator again.
Okay, so predator will be the ones that are preying upon those animals. So the ones that are doing the killing, the ones that are causing the extinction, the ones that are causing the decrease in the population.
Okay, so with that being said, still doing your video.
Mm-hmm.
With this scenario, who would that be?
Okay.
So now that you kind of give me an idea, okay, this is what the predator does. Who is this in a scenario?
Okay, so this would be the gray wolves.
Alright, so you don't have to do with that.
Okay, so where you see gray wolves, you can put predatorial on top. And where you see the word rabbits, you can just put prey.
Okay, now we got that. Walk me back through it again.
Okay. So the predatorial will be,
Always begin.
oh, okay, so we've already read it. Now we're going into our vocabulary words, and we're looking for certain terms that are important to the predatorial and prey relationship. Those three terms will be extinction, so I will need you all to highlight the word extinction. Then we're gonna highlight the word abundance. And then the last word we're gonna highlight will be the word population. So then we're gonna go in and we're gonna do our annotation, and we know, well, the word extinction means the dying out or disappearance of species. So you're gonna write that above the word extinction. The next word is abundance. We're gonna write large amount on top of abundance. Our last word is population. We're gonna write underneath population a group of animals living in a certain area. Okay, now class, we're gonna go in and we're gonna explain how these vocabulary words are important to the prey/predatorial relationship. So I know that the predatorial, the predators in this scenario will be the gray wolves, because they're the ones that are causing, that are lessening the population of rabbits. They are also the ones that have a higher abundance. Prey will be those that are getting killed off and those that are becoming extinct, which will be the rabbits. So you can go in on top of rabbits and you can put prey, and then on top of gray wolves, you can put predatory. Okay.
Okay. And what are you doing? What's that?
Okay, so now we're going to read the scenario one more time, and then we're going to infer what will occur. The gray.
But this time, just put pause on it. I'm just getting your thinking, because like I said, whatever you're doing here, that's what you want me to eventually move to.
Okay.
So once you read again, how is it going to be different this time when you read it?
You'll see. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, listen.
Okay. The gray wolves at one point also caused the extinction. which means the dying out or the appearance of species, of a certain species of rabbits. Remember, our rabbits will be our prey in the Northwest. The initial abundance, remember abundance means a large amount of rabbits, which are still our prey, allowed the gray wolves, which are our predators, to hunt easily and eat many rabbits, which are our prey. Eventually, the rabbits, our prey, population, meaning a group of animals living in a certain area, began to decrease, resulting in a change in the wolf population. And remember, population is a group of animals living in a certain area. Okay, now class, we are going to infer what will occur.
As a student, I know what infer.
Okay, so infer is just to make a guess based on facts or observations. So you're gonna go in and you can read scenario 1 quietly. I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds to read that on your own. And remember that the word infer means to make a guess based upon facts or observations. So you got your 30 seconds, you're gonna read it.
Okay, quick question. With the infer, are you gonna have them write what that means as well, or just annotation?
Okay, we're gonna back. So, class, we're talking about the word infer. So, we want you to infer what will occur. We are going to now highlight the word infer, and on top of infer, you are going to write to make a guess based on facts or observations. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 30 seconds.
Remember, this is still, this is still you.
They still can't read.
Not until this time.
Okay. Okay.
Remember, it literally says, I do.
Okay.
So you walk them through the whole process.
Okay. So we're not gonna read.
You read it.
Okay, I'm gonna read it again. The gray wolves at one point almost caused the extinction. Remember, class, that extinction means the dying out or disappearance of species, of a certain species of rabbits. Remember, the rabbits are our prey in the Northwest. The initial abundance, remember the word abundance means large amount, of rabbits, which are our prey, allowed the gray wolves, which are our predators, to hunt easily and eat many rabbits, which are our prey. Eventually, the rabbit population began to decrease, resulting in a change in the wolf population. Remember that the word population means a group of animals living in a certain area. Okay? So we're going to skip down where it says infer what will occur. You should already have infer highlighted and you should already have it annotated. Remember, the word infer means to make a guess based on facts or observation. Okay, so let's see what I can infer about this scenario. So I know that we have the large wolf, which is our predator, and we have the rabbit, which is our prey. I know that the predator eats the prey, okay? So I know that there is an increase in the population of the large wolf. And it also says that since there is an increase, there is a decrease in population of the prey, which are the rabbits. So it looks like the large wolves are coming in and eating up all the rabbits. So I can infer that the large wolf population began to increase competition for rabbits, leading to a decrease in population. The rabbits.
Okay.
gonna just move right along. The next thing our next task is to explain what will need to occur to maintain the balance of the ecosystem. So we're gonna talk about the word explain. You're going to highlight the word explain, and then we're gonna go right along and annotate it. So I see everybody has that word highlighted. The word explain means to tell in great detail. Okay, so we're going to tell in great detail what will need to occur to maintain the balance of the ecosystem. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my infer. I know that we have a large population of wolves. They're eating all of our little rabbits, which is causing the rabbit population to decrease because there's an increase in wolf population. They're coming in and eating up all of our rabbits. So I now know that the wolf population needs to decrease to allow the rabbit population to reestablish. So I know that if the wolf population dies down, then I will have more rabbits in my population. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now let's drum roll. Put it all together. How's it going? So all I'm doing is just getting you to do some muscle memory so you become familiar with it. So it gets in, as they say, getting your system, getting your soul to where you get in front of those kids is easy going.
So we're gonna start back at the top. Then we're gonna go from the top down. Okay.
Even up to when it's like it's right after your eagle challenge. Excuse me, flying eagle exercise.
No.
What was it?
Excelling eagle flight exercise.
The eagle exercise. So it's just after the eagle exercise.
Okay. Hello students. Today we're doing our reteach. I will be reteaching about the predatorial/prey relationship. You have this handout. You're gonna write your name on this handout, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So our instructions say that we're gonna read each interactive scenario. We're then going to infer what will occur with the population and the ecosystem as a result of the relationships. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to explain what will need to happen in order to restore that balance to the ecosystem. Okay? So I'm going to do an I do, and I will just model to you all what mastery looks like. Okay? So for scenario 1, it says that the gray wolf at one point almost caused the extinction of certain species of rabbits in the Northwest. The initial abundance of rabbits allowed the great wolves to hunt easily and eat many rabbits. Eventually, the rabbit population began to decrease, resulting in a change in the wolf population.
Good so far. The only thing is, as you're doing an I do, you have to make it clear to the students what is their job, what is they gonna task them.
Okay.
So start from there. So you get acclimated to what you wanna make sure that you include what the students.
Okay, students, you all are just gonna listen and pay attention to me. So all eyes should be on me. We're not on our iPads, we're not writing anything, we are not using our highlighters right now. You're just paying attention to me. I will let you know when we'll be writing and when we'll be using our highlighters. Okay, I already read the scenario. Okay, so we are going to look for certain terms that are important for the prey/predatorial relationship. And since this is an I do, I already have the terms highlighted for you all. So the first word that we're going to talk about, you can now pick up your highlighters. We're going to highlight the word extinction. The next word will be abundance. You're going to now highlight the word abundance. The last word that we're going to highlight will be the word population. Okay, so now we're going to go in and I'm going to give you the annotation of these 3 words. You can now pick up your pencil because you'll be doing some writing. So on top of the word extinction, you're going to write the dying out or disappearance of species. So again, extinction will be the dying out or disappearance of species. Abundance, now you're going to write this above abundance, you are going to write large amount. Again, abundance is large amounts. Okay, so our last word will be population. So underneath population, you are going to write a group of animals living in a certain area. Again, you're going to write a group of animals living in a certain area. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell you how these terms that we just annotated, how they are important to the predatorial/prey relationship. Okay, so I'm going to read the scenario one more time. The gray wolf at one point almost caused the extinction of certain species of rabbits in the Northwest. The initial abundance or large amount of rabbits allowed the gray wolves to hunt easily and eat many of the rabbits. Eventually, the rabbit population, meaning a group of animals living in a certain area, began to decrease, resulting in a change in the wolf population. So remember, the word population is a group of animals living in a certain area. Okay? So I know that I have the rabbit and I have the gray wolf. I know that the rabbit will be my prey because it's the animal that's getting hunted upon. I know that gray wolves will be my predatorial or my predator relationship because it is the animal that's doing the hunting, the killing. The animal that's causing the population of rabbits to decrease, and also the animal that is causing the extinction of the rabbits. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're just going to be moving right along to the infer what will occur. So this is the time for you to take out your highlighters again, and you are going to highlight the word infer. Okay, so it looks like everybody has the word infer highlighted. You're now going to pick up your pencil and you're going to write above the word infer to make a guess based upon facts or observations. So I'm going to say that one more time. The word infer means to make a guess based upon facts or observations. Okay, so it's asking me to infer what will occur. So I know that I have my prey, which is the rabbit. I have my predator, which is the gray wolf. It also says that the rabbit population begins to decrease. I know that my predator, which is the gray wolf, is coming in and is eating all of my rabbits. So I know that that's one thing that is occurring, right? So what I'm going to write is, I'm going to write the large wolf population begins to increase. So there's an increase of large wolves coming in, and they are all eating up the rabbits, which means it's causing a decrease of population for the rabbits. So again, the large wolf population is beginning to increase, which means it's eating up all of my rabbits, which is causing my rabbit population to then decrease. Okay, so we're moving right along to explain what will need to occur to maintain the balance of the ecosystem. This is our last chance to pull out our highlighter on our I do. So you're going to highlight the word explain. Okay, looks like everybody has the word explain highlighted, and you're not going to take out your pencil because I'm going to give you the annotation of the word explain. The word explain means to tell in detail. So they want me to tell in detail what will need to occur to maintain the balance of the ecosystem. So I inferred that I have a large amount of wolf population. My wolf population is increasing, which means my rabbit population is decreasing because all of my rabbits are being ate up. So I know that in order to maintain the balance of the ecosystem, I need to have less wolves so that I have more rabbits. So the wolf population will need to decrease to allow the rabbit population to then reestablish. Thank you.
Alright, good job, good job. Alright, so you kinda get a feel for the process and, incorporating your moves with student moves and then going along with your think aloud. So eventually when you get to the, you do, you said scenario 3 and 4, students will have the idea of what you're looking for in order to use to ensure that you're looking for what as they're doing the using. What are you looking for the using? What is your purpose? You said you're looking for this process.
For them to establish a vocabulary.
Now, what you said was your outcome. What was your overall outcome?
Oh, being able to determine the cause and effects, that the predatory relationship has with the organisms.
So that's why it's pertinent to walk them through that time.
Okay.
To see the whole process.
Okay.
Alright, so I know it's getting close to the end of your time, so go ahead and notate what our next steps is gonna be. So for the next steps, and since we have the I do, what I want, we got so you got to do the I do, but I want to see your thought process, teacher moves, student moves with the we do.
Okay.
So you kind of write out that process, script out that process. And you want to keep in mind teacher move, student move, but this time it's we do.
Yeah.
Okay. And then to help me assist you with the process of reteach, since we are prepping for 10 ready, if you would please provide me with those high leverage standards
Okay.
you would like to look at. And what I'm going to do for next steps, so when we come back together, is I'm going to look at that data for those particular high leverage standards, so we can both come to the table with those misconceptions.
Okay.
So that way we can further assist you with the planning through the reteach. Alright, so
Gotcha.
quickly play back what our next steps are.
Okay, so our next step is you would like to see my thought process for the we do. You also want to see my teacher moves and the student moves. You also want me to go in and look at the data from those high leverage standards, so then we can then locate the students' misconceptions.
This is in your list of those high leverage standards. Alright, you feel okay? Feel good? Feel like you came on coming out more than what you came in with? Any questions for me?
Okay, we only have 13 days until the TCAP, right? This, I feel like it's gonna take 2 days.
Okay.
So are we gonna stick with the 2 days of just TCAP list, I guess?
Well, you almost want to say readdressing those misconceptions.
Readdressing the misconceptions.
So that's why I said that's where we want to look at that data to hit those high leverage key pieces where we are utilizing those high steps as we go into the
Okay, also, how would this look if we were to do it, in a blended learning? Okay, cause I'm thinking maybe we could, cause not, looking at the data, not every student will have like a misconception.
So that's where your data will come in, so that way you can strategically place your kids in those
Mhm.
particular stations.
Mhm.
So the ones you were like, you just missed all of it,
Mhm.
that's this end, but that's where you're gonna sit in there.
Okay.
And then those who may have, what they call it, maybe the coaching, maybe 1 or 2 questions off from.
So they'll do
They
this.
might do the,
Okay.
offline.
Okay,
And those who might be a little bit stronger can do something, on the,
okay.
they are pushing that piece on.
Uh-huh.
Feel good? Hey, we thank you, but we're not gonna use all your time, but
Okay.
we do love you.
I love you
And
too.
you know you got my number, so.
I know, I'll be using it.
But I appreciate it, though.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Ms. Morris.
now I can't make my copies.
I'm sorry.
You said you done give me half the
I
time.
know.
Okay, I'll see you I'll see you next week.
But, yeah, it's already Friday.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right, you too.